Hey y'all! Thank you for coming back after the absolute tech goblins ruined my day. I don't want to say how long ago it was. We are back for part
Time
3.
is flat, is a circle, fake, whatever, all that stuff.
We are
that we
back
see.
with part 3.5 of Parallel Play with Missing Month with my friend here, Glaiza. Parallel Play is my show where I get to play a solo TTRPG with the person who wrote it, also playing with me. And this iteration of it, we're going through Missing Month, which is by our lovely, newly appointed Notion guy here at Find Out Productions. Glaiza, go ahead and introduce yourself for those who haven't been able to join us before.
Hey everybody, my name is Glaiza. He, they, she, pronouns yes in that order. I do a lot of things on the internet, especially in the TTRPG space. And today I'm, like Shiv said, I'm joining Parallel Play to play my game that I created that I'm very proud of. And I did recently join Find Out Productions as the Notion guy. I am the only one in the Discord channel with the @Notion guy tag, which I'm very, very proud of because I'm very proud to be the Notion guy. And that's that. Yeah, you can. I also finished setting up my website, by the way, Shiv. Did you know that? I stopped talking. I could. Yeah, I set it up. It's on there. It's built with Notion. Of course it is, because of course it is. But if you go look at Classical Adventures 4.1, you will see my new spanking new website, and it's really pretty. Basically, it's going to be like a proposal for when I build Find Out Productions website. That's what it's for. But also, I should have my own website anyway. But when you see Find Out Productions website in the coming future and it looks like this, know that's because I built it.
It's going to be beautiful. I'm going to tell everyone that I lured you into being part of the team by being like, we have a Notion. It's a mess. And you were like, sign me in. Got it. It's one of my favorite ways I've ever, I guess, quote, hired somebody before.
It was so funny how it went though. Like I think we should talk about how funny that was. Because I'm gonna be honest, I was just like, oh man, I really shouldn't have another thing to do because I have so much stuff to do. And I was about to be like, I don't know. And then Shiv went, and then, I know that you're interested in Notion and we're using Notion. We need help. I'm like, I'm in. Whatever, I'm in.
I do.
100%.
It was so funny because I felt you trying to soft no me. I think that was the funniest part, is I was like, you can run shows if you want and all this. We need a little bit more help behind the scenes. And you were like, oh, I shouldn't take on too much. I don't feel like running stuff. And then I was like, we have a Notion that's a mess. And you were like, I'm in. Like, didn't even immediately
was like, I got you. I'm in now. Yeah. It's it. Yeah, I've changed my mind 100%. The turn was like so quick.
But the last message before I said that was very much the softest of soft no's, and then it was the hardest of yes. It was great, honestly. I felt like, would you do it for a Scooby snack?
And you didn't even have to offer me 2 Scooby snacks. It was just the one Scooby snack, and I was just like, all right, you got me, actually. You got me. Yeah, you got it.
So, back to Parallel Play.
Anyway, we're professionals
this is
doing
honestly,
a Parallel Play.
So Parallel Play was my brainchild of essentially, I feel like solo TTRPGs never get any actual plays, and I don't particularly do well with doing game prep, so I wanted to show that you can just sit down and do a solo TTRPG with minimal prep, and you don't have to do the same thing every time. And so with Glaiza and I using the same prompts, you can kind of see where our stories go. So Missing Month is a really interesting game that we've had a lot of fun with. that Glaiza and I got very philosophical with in part 2.
Oh yeah,
And
very, very.
it's a game that, honestly, I think the most delightful thing about it is how much you yourself love it, which just makes me love it even more. It's it's a fantastic thing, essentially, about going elsewhere and returning home. And then at the end of that, which is what we're going to be covering tonight, is where is home? And just a soft content warning, there's some talk of missing memories, memory loss. There's going to be probably some existential and philosophical things. There's going to be grief. So approach with caution. I will also try to make sure that I put a warning before I go into a topic with my background, because I am somebody who has worked in the mortuary industry and has dealt with grief in a professional level. But just be on the lookout. And if we do ever wander into a subject that starts to feel not great, please take care of yourself first, walk away, and I will try to holler when we are through the parts that may be a bit more upsetting to others. But as somebody who loves to write through hard feelings, this game is really wonderful to kind of sit there and sit with those emotions without writing about yourself. So
Yes.
that's me going to go into the therapeutic applications of TTRPGs, which I kind of covered in our round table we did this last week. Seems to be a bit of a theme for my week.
I mean, therapy. Players going to TTRPG instead of therapy, not in my
More likely
Christian
than you think.
Discord channel. Not in my Christian Discord channel. No,
Literally, no. No, but I was talking last time about the last full episode we had. The last episode, the soft episode we had, where OBS decided to test my blood pressure. Hello, Plummy. We talked about like how personal these stories are, particularly to you, but also being able to kind of separate yourself from a situation and write about it through somebody else's eyes, and how much that can be easier to process those things. So, like I said, we might get into some heavy stuff tonight, and if it's not feeling good for you out there watching, like, please take care of yourself first and foremost. And I do not want to ruin your night. And you can come back to this. We will post a VOD on YouTube with the applicable content warnings and stuff like that. So I just want to, first and foremost, I care about y'all first before I care about eyeballs on my stream. Okay? So that's my disclaimer for tonight. So where we left off, we have two very different characters with very different approaches to work. Because during character creation, one of the things that we really focused on was their occupations. And we actually have two different directions that it is their life from two different philosophies. So I've got Gwynny, who is a baker and a content creator and a this and a that, but everything's about baking. And she's kind of having to grind herself to a fine powder to keep her head above water. And it seems, at least in the time we've been there, she's at least lost a little bit of the passion and why she did it in the first place, because she had to make it about money. And then we had Jasper.
Jasper is an idealist. I think I wrote it down here, who exactly my boy is. But Jasper is basically an idealistic 20-year-old, 21-year-old, I think is what we said. And he's like, oh, I don't like money, anti-capitalist. But he's a gardener. And he loves gardens, and he loves making different types of gardens for people. And it's funny because my game, the gardening part, sort of is a part of like the story and like the background, but I haven't had him do any sort of gardening in the actual game. So my goal is to make him do some sort of gardening related thing, but he's basically just this. On my character sheet, I had put idealistic, loves planting gardens, and doesn't like money as a quirk. And that's who he is. And I think the last time we were here, we realized that the world that he entered into was like a doppelganger world. Sort of like everybody that gets in here has their own sort of like doppelganger in it kind of thing. So I'm excited I don't remember, it's been a while, and I'm really glad because like that's the whole purpose of the game, that I don't remember a lot of what I wrote down, and that's part of the game. You're like, and it's great because I'm just gonna jump in here and not remember a thing that I wrote, which is great.
I actually am kind of glad for the delay because it's going to be really interesting going back and reading everything when we do the final goodbye.
Yes.
To read from the beginning, since this has taken place over, a real month, a literal missing month. Where we left off last time, we had done one more return home, the part 3. Where
the last part.
We did at 90 minutes of writing, we did you miss an important event, but you can't remember how you could have missed it. And what was the event and what excuse do you give? And we both finished writing it, and then my OBS shat the bed. So I do want to do the debrief of what we wrote there before we go into the next 30 minutes to do the final part of the writing. And ironically, with these two people who have so much of their personality tied up in their occupation, we pulled the 5 of spades, which was they missed a work event. And we had 5 minutes to come up with these excuses, and I thought it was a very interesting kind of thing. And I wrote something really great, and I was really mad that I didn't get to say anything about it. So
I think for us, just to remind ourselves what we wrote, because I didn't reread it, maybe we should do maybe a 1-minute read.
Sure.
I'm just gonna quickly read this.
Give ourselves 1 minute. You guys get to enjoy the dulcet tones of, we did sad lo-fi today, if anyone's using Lo-Fi Session Spirit City to play this game, which I highly recommend having this game just in general, but there's a shout out, my favorite idle game in the world. So 1 minute on the clock, let's go ahead and read.
Oh, I made it gay. That's what I did. I mean, no surprises there. That's really all I do.
Oh, yeah, no, there's definitely some
That's what I did. I made it gay. Yeah,
So
nice.
Since this is a relatively short one that we did, I wouldn't be opposed to us reading it out loud for people to kind of see what we wrote. Oh, hey, look, I got experience for running that timer.
I know. I think we were talking about the experience, the levels that you have on Spirit City, and my level in Spirit City is 310 because I rely on it so much. I have so much money, and there's no tickets to use it for. So whenever there's a new DLC, I'm like,
I literally, I make sure that at least leading up to new DLC being, I just have it open all the time. I don't always have it open because I've actually had time for leisure and actually playing other video games. But yeah, I'm only at 165, and I thought I was doing okay. And then Glaiza pulled his up the other day, and I was like, I'm sorry. Those are rookie numbers. I gotta pump those numbers up.
I was just like, I mean, I I'm sure there are other people who have that same number, and now I'm like, are there? There are, right? There are other people.
I've been hanging out in the Spirit City like Discord, and they may have soft spoiled what the next DLC is, and Glaiza and I were screaming about it to each other. Which we definitely, maybe we do another iteration of Missing Month when the library comes out. Just
with the library, just for fun. Just for fun.
But I see people being like, yeah, I hit 50. And I'm like, oh, sweetie honey. And then I see Glaiza's, because I think I'm like pro gamer at the idle game. And then Glaiza's just like, like, I think if I was in cosplay, like if this is a cosplay competition, I'd still be a journeyman. Anyways.
Anyway, this is why this is... I will let you read your 5-minute Spades writing for the last part of the part 3.
So to remind people, like I said, we're looking at a baker and her just like grinding herself to a fine dust to make sure everything is perfect. So then we get to this. The 1-star review glares at me from a screen that somehow seems foreign. It's so different than everything around it. There's ad hominem attacks, talks of how people like me can't be trusted, that I was discriminating against a normal couple. They're typing like the wedding has already happened. It's still 2 weeks away. That's when I check a calendar on my phone. The wedding was 3 days ago. How is that possible? I had everything planned to a T. The design was perfect, customized, and personalized. I call her, no answer. Call again, no answer. I leave a voicemail. I'm so sorry. I cannot figure out how this happened. I thought I had time. I've been feeling so strange. Please let me make this right. Full refund, free cake at another event. This isn't like me. Please, I want to make this right. Please call me back. I'm so sorry. And then it says, there's nothing quite like blubbering for forgiveness in a client's voicemail.
I mean, I'm not getting anxiety from this. You're getting anxiety from this. All right. Well, my one, like I said, I made it gay, and I'll read it to you.
Give it to me.
I was supposed to attend a meeting. I know this, but I woke up in my car outside, and it's been hours since that meeting. Well, woke up is a funny thing to say. I didn't think I was asleep. I don't even remember waking up. I blinked, and suddenly day had turned into night. I stepped out of my car, and one of my clients, the one I hated, actually, was tapping his foot as he stared at me. And he says, "Where have you been?" I wanted to say I didn't know where I was, but I couldn't get the words out. There was an emergency at the farm, so I lied. I saw his face change from anger to concern and goes, "Oh no, what happened? Was it your parents?" And I think for the first time, I saw this man who I didn't like working for, who I only accepted the job as a favor for his mom. Well, I saw him in a different light. And I guess he wasn't that bad after all. I did lie a little bit more. I told him that one of our animals were really sick, and he understood that, of course, they needed my car for it. He was very kind about it, actually. Maybe it wasn't so bad. Anyway, just like lining, like putting some seeds to make some more gay stuff happen. Honestly, that's a goal. Just, like.
I just flashing back to Blades in the Dark last weekend, where freaking
chat. Well, it's funny.
It was so good. Where you had the it was our slide talking to our connect to our next job, and it's just Glaiza in the chat being like, "Gay, gay, gay."
Gay! Yes, I did do that. I tend to do that. I get excited with gay.
God, it was so funny. I think that's one of my new like TTRPG core memories there. But we're gonna go ahead and pull cards. We have 30 minutes to make up.
Oh, yes. So our current time total right now is 96 minutes. And we have less than 30 because we need to finish 120.
Oh, so we technically have 24.
Yes, 24 and then 30 minutes to finish, like the
'Cause
goodbye.
I knew we were at the
So
90-minute mark, but you said it
Yes.
has to be exactly.
Yes, it has to be exactly 120.
Okay.
So that means that the last card that you pull, whether it's going to be like whatever card it is, it has to end at 120.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I pulled the 2 hearts.
Oh, 2 minutes. Perfect.
2 minutes. Which is going to put us at
97, 98 minutes.
So we have 2 minutes, and
Let me.
Glaiza, you're going to be so excited about this.
Am I gonna be so excited about how I chose? Like I keep getting surprised every single time. Like I didn't write these prompts.
There's a lot of prompts. You could forget. Look, the way I forget what I just typed out. Okay, 2 minutes to a hearts, which we know hearts is people.
Yes.
You feel their grip on your hand as they show you around this world. Who is your guide, and why are they holding your hand?
Oh man. All right. This is gonna be painful. Cause I just got like I vaguely remember Jasper getting to a fight with the guy, with Alvin.
Mm-hmm.
When
I remember Jeremy. I remember Jeremy on my side.
Yes. I remember there was a fight and just going back and holding hands. Interesting. All right, I'm ready. All
right. We got 2 minutes. Whoops, hold on. I got the wrong screen up. Here we go. We got 2 minutes on the clock, starting now.
Keep sneaking by him.
There we go.
Okay.
So did Alvin and Jasper make up, or is it someone new?
No, 2 minutes? No. So I'll start. 2 minutes, came back. Jasper comes back to the world, and Alvin is basically like gripping onto his hand and is like dragging him around, and it's like, and they're talking about this garden, this big garden in this new world that they've never seen before. And they said to Jasper, like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're back. I didn't think you'd come back. It's been so long." And Jasper basically like forces Alvin to let go of his hand and basically goes, "Do you remember what happened the last time I was here?" And then I ended the mess. I ended this session with just, yeah. With Alvin nodding, clearly remembering that they got into a fight when they left. Mostly because I'm remembering bits and pieces of the fight, but it was bad. Alvin was lying, or at least somebody's lying to Jasper here. So that's what I remember, which is good. I'm glad that I remember a little bit of it.
So I brought back Jeremy, who I remember being the comfort person. They were trying to remember themselves together. And Jeremy remembers him living in this world and all of that. And so he is showing her around as best he can. But he has no idea how long he's been here because the clocks and the dates and all of that are not in a way that his human mind would understand. But when he was a creature here, it made sense. And it's less about the actual guiding and all of that. It's more kind of, we're together in the weirdest way I suppose any relationship can be, kind of trying to figure that out. And he guides me through this world that makes you forget who you were, but in finding ourselves, we also found each other. And I don't know, I really like that. So that's kind of been their glue, is they're both aware that they are not these creatures and that everyone here was not those creatures, but they are trying very hard to remember who they are. And it's focusing in on kind of what brought them here. Which we still haven't answered how they've, why these people in particular wind up here. So we'll see if I get to that.
We'll see.
So now we are at 98 minutes.
Yes.
And we are going to shuffle the deck again. Okay, this deck wants us to write ships because I got another heart. We got the 6 of hearts, which is going to put us... I think we've done this one.
I'm looking for... yeah, we did the 6 of hearts.
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to shuffle again. Okay, fine. It says if you're not going to do ships, we'll do danger. Not danger. We'll do culture.
Culture, clubs, yeah.
So we've got a 6 of clubs, which is... No, we've also
we
done
did that
one
already.
See, this is
we
why...
did 6 of clubs.
This is why I need to have an actual... Okay, let me look. And make sure we haven't done this. There we go. 8 of diamonds, which is the material, things. You see a creature you've never seen before. Describe this native animal and why you believe it to be dangerous.
Huh.
What's a great time here?
So we have 8 minutes, which is going to put us at 106.
Let me just pull up my calculator. +8. Yes, 106 minutes. Correct.
Look at me doing math in my head. Thanks, tabletop.
I never do. Genuinely
I literally was so
impressed.
bad at mental math until I started playing tabletop, specifically D&D, like it was my job, because I was using real dice and I couldn't do math quickly until I had to. So we're gonna do 8 minutes. Starting now. Oh, just under the clock.
All right. Whew. I did it. We did it.
All right. What did Jasper encounter?
So, Jasper encountered, I'm just gonna read it. It's hard to describe something that I've never seen before, so I'm going to try, but believe me, whatever it is I tell you, it's not going to be enough to explain it. And maybe I was looking at my floating whale over here and was influenced by the decision that to describe this floating creature, but it is a floating creature. And it was floating like a balloon, but it looked like it was heavy. It looked like something that should not be able to float. And its color was gray and brown patches. And at first it looked like it was smiling, but apparently it was baring its teeth. And as Jasper was backing away from this creature, Alvin basically gets excited and starts running up to the creature and is like, "I did it! I brought one in," and he called it a burrow and I said like a digging creature, and I look at it at this floating, what looks like to be like a metallic mass of thing that doesn't look like something that can dig, and basically it looks like Alvin is going to dig himself out of this world somehow because he's stuck. And Jasper basically comes in and says, "I don't think that's a good idea because this body doesn't belong to me. I leave and come back here temporarily, but this body isn't mine." And Alvin realizes, oh, you talked to your doppelganger somehow. And that's where the chapter ended, or the part ended.
I named the world. I hadn't named it yet, but at the end, I really like my starting paragraph. So I'm just gonna read it verbatim because I was like, this game is making me write in a way I don't usually, because I never know what I'm going into, and so I never just start with the actual like, this is what I see. It's kind of, I call back to what she can remember until I get to what she's seeing right now, and it's really interesting. It's helping me flex muscles as a writer that I haven't done. And it's the thing about animals where we come from, which I figured out is called Earth, is that they have pretty stark designs to let you know they're dangerous. There's a fancy word for it, but I'm a baker, not a biologist. I know shitty men online would say it about my pink hair, but I know bright colors equals dangerous. So this shockingly pink thing would be dangerous in the rules from my own world. Jeremy seems unfazed about it. It's on 4 legs, it has fluffy fur, and it has these big eyes that look like they're on the brink of tears. Is it dangerous? No, not unless you insult it. It knows words. Yes, I know words, and I have a name. And that is where we meet another NPC, as I would like to say, Alfie. Alfie is a creature that have a conversation. Alfie at least contends where they're from, says, Far from home, aren't you, Earth, by the smell of it? What a fascinating place. How do you all manage to argue about everything? And my favorite part was, we don't argue. And then I got myself off realizing that I'm arguing about not arguing.
Alfie, first of all, you mind your business, Alfie. I just met you. Maybe take a step back here for 2 seconds.
I thought that was so funny. It like came to me, and I was trying not to laugh while we were doing quiet time. I was just like, why is it so bright? Why is this creature I just summoned from nothing? Like, yeah, why do you argue about everything? I was like, shut up, Alfie. I know I wrote you, but like,
how dare you, Alfie?
But Alfie says, it's very fascinating. He says, what do you mean? He says, you may not get stuck. He says, can we go home? And it says, well, that's the fascinating part, is it? What makes the two of you so special? I think I may need to take a closer look at what makes you tick. And then she's like thinking about the Cheshire Cat, because as Alfie is speaking and the mouth moves, she sees large pointed teeth and a smile that almost cracks the face, right? And so like now she's got her like, you know, she's on her back foot. She's like, oh no, now it's dangerous. And it sneezes at them and then just goes, I'm not certain this has ever happened before. Finding true love in the realm of forgetting.
Huh.
And I was just like, I literally was just sitting there like, I'm nearly finished with this game before I actually named where she's at. And I thought that was a really fun thing. Like, so
the land, what was it called? The land of forgetting?
The realm of forgetting.
The realm of forgetting. That would be an interesting place to keep coming back to every time you go there, the realm of forgetting. I love that.
And yeah, Alfie uses the term, what is it? How are you so you without your anchors? Which I remembered the rocks that were people.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I also, Alfie stares at us like it can see through our skin. So
probably can. Alfie probably can. Alfie might possibly be that little eldritch horror that's like super nice anyway.
Right. Like I'm like, it's still not quite certain if it's a nice creature, but we've learned something today.
Yeah.
So
you learn the world that you're at,
right?
Which is, you know, an interesting world.
The thing that I just like, I was trying so hard not to describe this, but the weebs in the chat will understand Witch Hat Atelier just started. And I have not watched it yet, but I have seen so much of the long worm fuzzy thing. And I was trying not to immediately describe that, but I couldn't get a fluffy creature out of my head. So Alfie came into existence. So
we are all influenced by the media that we consume. Honestly, clearly, when I was writing Missing Month, I was influenced by isekai stories and the Pomodoro timer that I'm currently like obsessed with. So clearly, the influence is there and present.
Look, it's one of those things that whenever somebody comes to me, especially like when we're like writing RP together or like starting like a game together where we're playing player characters, and they go, I'm really worried this character is too much like XYZ characters that I like. And I'm like, but you like those characters. This is your chance to tell that character's story in the way you want to see it seen.
Exactly.
Like we are all like you said, influenced by the media that we consume. And it just starts to kind of come through when we get to create ourselves. Like, I mean, I had no intention of turning Missing Month into a love story when I first set out. I just, like, literally, if I were to turn my camera here, this entire shelf that is directly at my shoulder is all romance novels. Like, of course it's going to have a love story in it at some point. Like, that's just how I write, because that's what I read. And, you know, and it's, as you're starting to do world building, you're like, oh, I'm pulling this from this, and I'm pulling this from this, and like, especially when you get into like isekai, like
it's also like the purpose of Missing Month is to just like, you tend to panic like, what am I gonna write? What am I? The time is running out. What am I gonna write? And you just sort of like look at the things in your room, and you're like, all right, that's it. And then you just sort of type, and then there is one person on Blue Sky that I love, just constantly posting. There's one shots in everywhere that you look. I think it was Rara that I noticed saying that all the time. But it's true. There's stories that you can build everywhere you look. There's something that you can use. I named in one of the games that Janis ran. No, not Janis. In one of the games in Five Fires that was in our channel. They were like, give a name for this mural that's in the middle of nowhere, and I was just like, Chicharron, because I had a packet of chicharron right in front of me, and I was like, the writer, the creator of that is Chicharron, and I didn't realize how much chicharron would mean in the game, and it's and I love that. I love that in Missing Month you have to like, and I love that a lot about TTRPGs in general, but like in Missing Month, because there's a timer, you're like, okay, I have to come up with something, and it's everything around you. It's everything that's in your room. And if what's in your room is a bunch of stuff that you like, you're just gonna come up with a bunch of stuff that you like.
Right. I mean, like, I genuinely, like, just if I zoom out of Missing Month and look at my bookshelf, I have a lot of fantasy, specifically like romantasy. I also have a lot of like witchcraft stuff above in the shelf above it, and there's stuff in there about like ancestor work and shadow work and stuff like that. And then above that is tarot cards, and then below that is my hobby books, which has TTRPG books and baking like books. Like, it's like I can just pull Gwynny literally out of this bookshelf and make a stack for her right here. So, you know, and it's just kind of one of those things that, when you are, and I'm gonna talk about writer's block for a second. When you have writer's block, just look around. Like, it really is just like, do not stare at that blank page, touch grass. Like, I literally cannot say that, like, just going and experience the world when you need to write something that feels.
One of the reasons I think Missing Month works really well as well for like people who are interested in writing or like experiencing writer's block is that it gives you enough of a guidance to write the story or write whatever, but also the panic of like I gotta write, and you're forced to like really think about it. And I think it's a really good exercise. It's a really good practice of like coming up with just anything, like imagination wise. It's a good exercise. And honestly, like if this doesn't become popular as a solo journaling game, which I think it will be anyway, I don't care. It's already popular to me. It is also a good writing tool for writers if they're feeling like, oh, I need to like really explore. And we talked about this in the previous shows, like if you want to build more of the world that you already have, but you just don't know how to build it, you can use the questions in Missing Month to answer it in that way and explain it to somebody who's never been in that world. And that's the purpose of it. It's a good world building exercise.
Right. Like, I've looked into those, like, 101 prompts for writers journals, but like, it's never what I want prompted. It's like, write about a sporting event, or like, what's the headline on a newspaper? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, and it's never, those prompts are never connected, at least in the ones I've had. And so I like this particularly as I want to get to know a place and a person at the same time. And it has such good guidance, but it's also open-ended enough that I don't feel like I have to write about like an exact moment. I can kind of explore it. Because it's a strange way to be like, this isn't exploration TTRPG without feeling like, I've got to keep track of rations and my map and
maps
like,
and all that. Yeah,
it's because I never liked those exploration D&D games.
It's a lot of like I think the reason I made this game was I was having fun with this solo RPG game, but like I was keeping track of like cards and maps and dice in one place.
Mhm.
And then my son sort of like came into the room and just messed up the table. And I was just like, oh, well, all of my maps are gone. I don't remember anything. And it was just like, I really like that feeling of like the randomness and the finding of the things. But I also want it to be like, if I step away for like 5 months
Right.
and then come back and just play it again, it won't matter. I could just pick up. I don't even have to reread the past stuff. And that's the whole point. You're not supposed to. You're just, all right, next question.
Next question. I was gonna say it's also I was talking about this game with my wife who has a degree in creative writing, right? Like I was gassing up this game to her specifically and she
I'm
was
a little nervous.
she was saying great things, but my wife is also a masochist in the sense that her favorite genre of video game is a roguelike. And she goes, it's a world building roguelike. That's what this is. And I was like, that's such a succinct way to describe this game. It's a world building roguelike. So like it's never going to be the same experience twice, even if technically the levels are the same. Like if by some strange way you pull the exact same cards 2 times in a row, it's going to be a different story.
Yeah.
So, you know, as we're showing here, we get the exact same prompts. We're going in very
Exact
different
same
way.
prompts, different. Like you are always going to be in a different time when you're writing this. You're never going to be the same person when you get back to it.
Mhm.
When you start it, it's always going to be different. And I think Missing Month is definitely one of those things that I'm like, I really want a TTRPG game that's replayable over and over and come up with something different every single time. And there we go, you know? And
Yeah. So we are
Yeah.
at 108 minutes.
we are at 108 minutes.
I have to I have to click the correct tab. Every time I run parallel play, all I think of is I want a third monitor. Which is just that goblin that sits on my shoulder and goes, yes, get the bass bend set up. And I'm like, shh. So, sorry. Let's see. Before I say it out loud, I want to make sure we haven't done this before. No.
I have a list of the cards up as
We have
well.
not done.
So
This is a 5 of spades.
we have done it as a return home.
We've
5
done
of
it?
spades. The
Oh.
last one is a 5 of spades.
The last one was a 5 of spades. Okay, so
Yeah.
we will. No, we have not done this. Check me on if we've done it for a return home, but we done a 5 of hearts.
Let me double check. 5 of hearts. We have not done a 5 of hearts. We have done 5 of clubs, but not of hearts.
Okay, so our prompt is you see a statue of a great leader. What is written on it, and what do you now understand better because of this?
Oh. What was I thinking about when I did this? 5 of hearts.
Mm-hmm. So that is going to be 5 minutes on the clock. All right. Are you ready?
Give me 1 second. I'm looking at the right. I'm not looking at the thing so that I don't start thinking about it. Just making sure that I have the right window. Okay, I am ready for 5 of hearts.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed that every time I realize I'm like just finishing my thought as the timer goes off, I have like the same reaction of the I'm like, oh, I've been watching too much One Piece.
It always feels like more. Anyway.
Tell me about your leader who has a giant statue, Glaiza.
It was his name is Piolo, and that is the name that I just decided to give the guy I hated.
Amazing.
The guy I hated, who is back in the homeworld, has a statue of himself here in this world.
Oh, the plot thickens.
It does. And the engraving was the first to be here and the one who taught us. And I can't wait to find out what that means when we get a new card. Because does he travel here still?
Right.
It can't be, because the first to be here and the one who taught us, is he permanently not here anymore? Is it even the same guy, or do they just have the same name? How is doppelganging happening in this world? Is it time-based? Is it like, what's going on? Anyway, I don't know all these things. I'm gonna find out as we play this game.
Stay tuned for the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. So I vaguely remembered how I described the creatures here. Like I said, I read nothing back when we started today. Like, I was just trying to pull from what I could remember. And I remembered that I said everyone here had too many limbs. And I took that maybe to an extreme. There's a mythical hero that is a statue that they've stumbled upon. It's incomprehensible to human eyes. It's just looking at that statue makes my eyes hurt, essentially. It makes my knees hurt looking at how the limbs extrude from his body. The name on the plaque is lost to time. It's like I can see it, it's there, but if I'm not actively looking at it, I cannot recall it. And the thing under the name is clear as day, though. May we never forget. And no one knows what they're not supposed to forget. And that was kind of where my train of thought went, is we've asked those that have housed us, creatures that interact with us, what are we not forgetting? No one knows. We remember him and his many limbs, and then they talk of the weather, the latest shipment to the market, the beings that patrol the street, the things that lunge at us every time they catch wind of our presence. And
maybe we want to forget the guy with the many limbs. Maybe.
Yeah. And it was like, I remembered saying that, like, in the first thing when we interacted with, like, the police or whatever, like our first prompt, I had said it was things that had too many limbs. And, like, I couldn't make sense of how the limbs are working. And so I was like, I'm just going to take that and run with it because the easiest way to make something creepy is give it too many limbs.
Mine is teeth.
Teeth, yeah.
Teeth. It's always like you can't explain it, but they seem to have more teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I got that because I read Artemis Fowl when I was younger. And Artemis Fowl had Mulch the dwarf, and every time he threatened anybody, he would smile and show off all of his teeth. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, huh, teeth. That's what's scary. That's what people are afraid of. Teeth.
Look, if we're gonna point out the thing that like is inspiring the weird, like what makes something feel weird, it was later in life, right? But like it just grabbed me by the throat and it hasn't let go. I listened to the Magnus Archives, which is just a stupendous podcast. I will just forever and always, if somebody goes, I need something to listen to, and then I will be like, do you want to listen to something that's going to forever change the chemistry of your brain and how you look at the world? Here you go, have the Magnus Archives. But my favorite episodes were always the ones about the spiral, the thing where you can't trust your own perceptions and senses. And the way they describe anyone who's kind of affected by it is too many teeth, too many limbs, just something that doesn't feel quite human. And it's trying to be, which is also funny because there's also the stranger. But like when those two kind of meet and it's like something that's trying but doing a very poor job at it, and for some reason like longer like fingers in particular will always just kind of like, and that's kind of something as she's trying to remember the statue, she starts to kind of turn back into what the people who have forgotten are turning into. Every time she tries to think of the statue, she can feel a limb start to lengthen or her fingers. And so
remember that.
Yeah, so the way she like kind of pulls back into being who she's supposed to be is, I have 4 limbs, I have 10 toes, I have 10 fingers, my hair is pink. Like just kind of remembering how to be in her body. And so yeah. And I liked my last line, which is, Jeremy can always tell when I think about that statue. It's one of the few questions he can't answer. So,
man.
Yeah. So
I really love this game, and I really love that I get to share it with you because I play this a lot. Like I've mentioned like multiple times, I play this game by myself a lot all the time, and I love seeing other people like play it too, because then I'm like, I'm not alone. Other people do enjoy it. Other people do like it. Other people do see the purpose and the goal that I had in mind, and it's nice. And I'm really glad. Again, parallel play, doing really well in showing how solo TTRPGs can actually work, and it's great. It's truly a great idea.
It's honestly like even just as something to do with your friends, right? Like if you have friends, like Glaiza and I were talking about this. I do a lot of text RP where I have like Discord servers that I join and I bring my characters in and like play various universes and stuff like that. Like this would be fun to also do alongside like someone that I write with kind of just recreationally, and then present at the end what we do. Like if you're someone like me who sometimes has a very public facing job and just wants to hang out with your friends but not be on, this would be a fun thing to do at home, So I did pull our next one.
Yes.
Oh.
What card are we writing for our next part?
The 9 of Spades.
The 9 of... Oh.
You are faced with a land.
Is it just...
empty.
It is exactly 120 minutes.
Are you serious?
No, we were at 111 and you pulled a 9 and we are exactly at 120 minutes. That has never happened to me while playing this game where you're like exactly at the 120 mark.
Well,
by
I
the
will
way.
say this was not my first card pull, but it was the first one that we hadn't done.
I mean,
I had to
counts.
pull a few.
That's the whole
I
point.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it was just everything else we had already done the prompts for, so I just pulled till we had one we hadn't. But it was the Nine of Spades, which is you are faced with a land empty of any sign of life. What does your guide tell you about the cause of this desolation? And I am.
That's a great way to end our part 4, by the way.
It's a fantastic way to end, and I'm feeling called out by this particular prompt because every time someone gets me started talking about actual D&D, not just tabletops in general, but D&D, I will lament that nobody wants to play an Eberron with me because I think the Mournlands is one of the coolest environmental things because it's so open to interpretation that it can be different no matter who's GMing it. But anyways, I'm going to not give Wizards of the Coast any more of the airtime that I want to give them, and I'm just going to geek out about this and have to try to figure out what I want to do for this. But we do have to do 9. I can't believe it's exactly 120 minutes.
I was just like, that. I thought you were going for the 120 immediately. I thought that's why you were guessing.
No, I was geeking out because it reminded me of Eberron.
And I was just like, okay, that is amazing. It's 120 minutes, exactly, that we have. So that's awesome. But also, that is pretty cool.
Yeah. But just for those hanging out with us tonight, we're going to go ahead and do this last prompt, a debrief afterwards, and then we're going to take a break. And then we're going to do...
We have one more return home scenario.
Yep.
And if you want, you can look at the return home scenario so you're ready for it. But the return home scenario for 120 minutes is, I'm going to read it to you so you can see it. But suddenly, all of the memories of the time that you spent in the other world comes rushing back. And you know you only have a short time before you forget again. What do you do and what memory stands out among the rest? That's the last return home scenario.
Okay.
And then we go ahead.
We'll do this last prompt, the return home, break, and then we'll do the goodbye letter.
And then the 30 minutes of goodbye, where we both look back at the things that we've written, and also, like the way the goodbye works is that this gives you a chance to remember everything that you've written by going back to it, reading it, and then trying to decide where you're going to be and how you're, the choices that you make. All that time is part of the 30 minutes. Whether you spend it where you can even spend 15 minutes of that time reading and then, okay, I'm going to write the goodbye or trying to decide which one you're going to go. However way you do it, at the end of the 30 minutes, you're done with this world or the world you left behind. You can never visit it again. You can if you want to. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to go to your house and be like, you can't write and play this world again in your game. But basically, for these characters that you've written, they can never, ever go back either to this world or the world they chose to left behind. That 30 minutes is for you to just soak in it, whichever world you decide to leave. This is a chance for you to...
Everyone's going to see me cry on stream. I hope you're all prepared for it. Subscribe to I don't know, see me cry.
I mean,
Subscribe
don't do
anyways,
that.
please.
I mean, subscribe anyway, but don't do it because you want Shiv to cry. Don't do that.
I know I'm going to make myself cry. There are so many times I have been writing fucking fan fiction that I have just had to stop writing for a few minutes because I kept blobbing the ink with my tears.
That's why you write on ellipsis, so you can cry freely and the tears don't break your keyboard.
Save a tree. Use ellipsis.
Save a tree and your tears. Use ellipsis.
I feel like I'm going to be that SpongeBob meme of, is this one better? I made it out of my tears. Anyways, we're going to do our 9 minutes.
Nine of
Oh, wait,
spades.
Eberron. I was like, what was our prompt again? I got
We're gonna
distracted.
Eberron. We're doing the Eberron land.
Okay. 9 minutes. Serious. I'm so preparing myself to cry, and now I keep giggling about it. Anyways, 9 minutes, let's go.
All right.
I had fun with this one. I had a lot of fun with this one. And this being the setup to like the final arc, essentially. And we mean it's actually a final arc and it's going to be over eventually, and not what Oda has said. We're in the final arc and we're still like 3 years into it. Anyway.
Oh, this is permanent. There's no more. We're done. We have found the One Piece. And it turns out it's a letter of goodbye. That is the One Piece, apparently.
That I'm going to cry while I write. The One Piece is the tears we cried along the way.
Oh my gosh. Wild. Truly, truly, truly the wildest. It is the tears. Also, it can't be the tears. I've had so many. I've had so many tears. I've found the One Piece so like 1,000 episodes
tears,
over.
That's what makes it the One Piece. It's all of them. You're not done crying. I'll probably cry next week. Look, I'm a crybaby, okay? Like, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I cry all the time.
So much as I cry so easily. I will just. Is there an emotion? I'm gonna cry.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
the One Piece. Sorry, I'm just gonna acknowledge the chat. The One Piece is Frankie's Speedo. Anyway, so
correct. And that belongs to Robin. If you must know, the Robin deserves the One Piece, and she has found it in Frankie. I'm clearly a Robin tripper, and if you are not, then I accept that you can be wrong. It's okay.
I have to say the captions almost got Frobin right.
Ah, so close.
So close. Anyway.
Close.
So what did you write? What was your
Um,
desolation?
So it's basically the reason for this desolation is the burrow. The burrow basically will engulf this world unless I basically turned him into a balloon. A balloon that is expanding. It has already engulfed Alvin, and the only way for this balloon to stop expanding and destroying the world, and basically Jasper has, the not Jasper, has explained to me that the only way to stop the burrow from expanding is to pop it, and that will involve a sacrifice of one of the souls, and only people who have 2 souls in them will be able to do it. And currently that's only me, the Jasper. Also, I wanna read this one line that I put in. Getting engulfed by the burrow would result in being able to leave this world, but only if the body that was engulfed has 2 souls living in it. Alvin only has the one, the not Alvin. And then not Jasper turns to me and goes, "Is that what you're calling me? Not Jasper? That's kind of rude, isn't it?" Well, I wasn't going to call myself not Jasper. And that's where I ended the sentence.
Not to just sleeper agent TMA Stan be activated, but like the not person is like a whole thing in Magnus Archives. Please listen to it. Please, I need more people to talk about with it. Anyways, you should listen to it. I feel like you'll listen to it and then play Missing Month again, and some weird shit's gonna come out. Anyways, my desolation is nothing. It is.
Oh.
It is not anything. It is literally nothing. I made the joke of PNGs, where it is literally just nothingness. Hold on, what did I, it's okay. So I really liked how I described it. Was it's somehow connected to that statue, this wasteland. We can't walk on it. We have to go around it. Alfie said something is on the other side for us. Something for us to find, though the damn thing was unclear about what we were even looking for. Just, you'll know when you see it. But as far as I can see, it's black and bland. And then says, well, blackened implies there's something there. It's just nothing. Like whatever was here is just gone. Not burnt, not raised, just gone. And they find an invisible bridge. And it's not, it's let's see, where did I put it? The way I got distracted because I figured out Jeremy's from Boston and that she's from New York, because
That's so funny to me.
He's easily remembering his time here at this point. He's so certain of himself that even when he's so certain of himself, even when he recalls his time here. Red hair, tall, his accent finally settled. He sounds like he's from Boston. I bully him relentlessly about it because we figured out I'm from New York. The first time I heard him say "Go Red Sox," I almost punched him in the mouth out of instinct, which I thought was really funny. But this nothingness, it finally does give way to a strange bridge that is still invisible, but it's real. Which is just kind of such a... Like, I'm like, if this was a movie, this would be so hard to show. But because it's the words, you can kind of just...
You just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Imagine this like this, actually. Or it'll be like, if we're talking about like doing a movie, it'll be an animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing live action, honestly.
And I was kind of trying to figure out, there was something that this was reminding me of. And I realized it was reminding me of Inside Out, where it's the like cavern of forgetting, essentially. And I just got sad about Bing Bong all over again.
Bing Bong.
Don't, like, if you watch the movie, you will understand, and that name is going to send you into hysterics, okay? But yeah, so it's like this just, it's almost like so many people forgot what happened here that it just doesn't exist anymore. And I described the sound as silence. And it's like, not silence like there's the environment you can still hear. There is just no sound. It's like that room that is so quiet that people lose their minds in, which was just like a random science thing I remembered, that they have like a soundproof room that's so quiet that people can only be in there for like 10 minutes before they like have a panic attack. So yeah, that's my desolation.
It's a good desolation, honestly.
So yeah, that was I'm realizing how much I am just pulling from things that I like as I'm kind of building this world, but in my own sense, because like
Exactly.
there's definitely like there's definitely a lot of tinges of Magnus Archives. There's some Disney movies that I've looked at. And I'm just like, as I'm kind of calling myself out of we just pull things we like. I'm like, oh, I can see the fingerprint of all of these things all over when I read.
Yep. And it's also funny because you can also see where you're at while you're writing. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that I love about Missing Month is if you take breaks that are longer than 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Because normally you would take 5-minute breaks. But if you take like month breaks and you forget everything and then you just come back and write it, you are going to be so different and the story is going to go wild. And I love that. Because I'm still running one Missing Month game, and I've started that in October of last year, and every single time I come to it, and I'm like, oh, well, completely forgot everything about here, but it's gonna go wild, and it's you could definitely do so many things with just the break is important. Taking the break in between is important because the world that you visit is different every single time you do, and you are different every single time you do. And that's another randomizer of this game.
Yeah. I do need you to check me because I am just about to wreck us if I am correct.
For the return home, the last one? Okay.
I pulled an ace.
Ooh, that's a minute. Oh, okay. Wait. Okay. Let me see if we have.
It's the Ace of Hearts.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
F. There is. I don't think we have an Ace of Hearts.
Oh boy. Okay.
But apparently, I've written. We have an Ace of Spades.
I was going to say, I knew we did the Ace of Spades because I told my story.
I think we only did one ace, honestly. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, right, because it was the Ace of Spades, because it was the
who do you
just
hate?
Ties. God, I figured out you'd been gone.
Ace of Hearts. Oh, it's a minute.
It's a minute. It is a memory that brings joy.
Oh, that's right. You remember everything.
That's good.
And you have to bring up a joyful memory.
I'm glad this isn't a long one.
Oh, that. I'm so glad we only have a minute.
Okay. We just gotta do it. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Okay.
A minute. Let me just. Okay.
I'm doing that bake-off thing of like, hold on, let me just adjust the last thing.
Ah. Oh man, it's so sad. I made it sad. Okay.
Do I have
Content.
tissues? I'm gonna get tissues before we do the goodbye letter.
I do want to do some good content warnings here. It's gonna deal with memory loss and the pain of memory loss because you're about to forget something. And content warning, that is what's gonna happen here because I'm also gonna bring up my grandfather here, who at that is one of the reasons why I made this game. Is because my grandmother used to tell me stories about my grandfather, and the reason why he forgets is because he goes to a different world, and so that's one of the main things that I built here for that. And I just want you guys to know, content warning. I think Shiv, if you want to get up and grab stuff.
Yep. Yeah, so I went ahead and put it in the chat. So feel free to speak freely.
Awesome. The thing that I wrote here is I remember everything. I'm back at home and I remember everything. I can already feel it slipping away. I need to find a pen, anything to remember what I have to do. I can't find anything. I'm crying knowing that I'll lose it all again. I don't have anything. And the last thing I remember was Alvin's smile. So Jasper didn't get to write his memories. And one of the things that I think I mentioned it to somebody. I was in a call with a couple of friends and I was sharing my Notion board. Shout out to Notion, the only thing that I've been focusing on my entire life for the past 2 months. And they were like, oh, Glaiza, you just record literally everything. And I'm like, I do. But it's because I have PTSD and memory problems. A lot of the things that I enjoyed when I was growing up, I don't remember anymore because trauma happened and all I could remember was the trauma and my brain was like, nope. And so there's so many TV shows and books that I read and I grew up loving so much and I don't remember them anymore. It's fun now because I'm going back and rewatching the things that I watched and reading the things that I read in the past. And it's wonderful and it's lovely. But it's still like, I don't want to forget. So that's why like my Notion is so important because I'm recording literally my whole life in there in case I forget again, in case something bad happens and I forget again. It's a safety net for me. It's a safety thing that I've created for myself.
Well, it's, I mean, people, myself included, will make kind of the joke, but, in some senses of, I wish I could go back and experience this thing for the first time again, But like, now hearing you say you're actually doing that, I'm like, I'm not certain I'm going to make that joke anymore. So
I mean, it's on one hand, it's fun. I get to read this. All I really remember is the feeling of like, oh, it's really fun. Like I enjoyed my time while I was there. But then I'm like, man, how could I have forgotten all these good things that I enjoyed so much? How could I have forgotten them? And it's like, it's trauma. It's PTSD, it's trauma. That's what it is. You have mental health problems, and that's why you have a therapist and a psychiatrist. That's what it is.
Right.
But I also don't want to I want to have like safety tools and like safety nets so that if it does happen again, like you didn't forget, you took the time to write it down to remember. So your brain may not be, remember, but you yourself, you wrote it down. And that's what
setting future you up for success and then
exactly.
Yeah.
And I love future me, and future me is great, and I want to make sure future me thrives. So that's anyway, Notion is great. Have you guys seen my website? It's really nice. I built it on Notion. I'm also the Notion guy for Find Out Productions. Thanks. That's me passing the baton.
It was the carrot I had to dangle for you, and it barely got in your line of sight before you smashed it. So I also, I mean, obviously, we both kind of, it's a minute, right? Like, we have a minute to get this down. And it seems both of our characters woke up kind of, I don't want to say crazed, that's not the word, but like panicky. Like, how long am I going to remember this, right? And it's interesting because we ourselves had a minute to write it. We wrote it kind of frantic. And so I described it as like waking up hungover, but instead of having forgotten everything, you're remembering everything, and that's why your head hurts, right? And first thing she thinks of is, where's Jeremy? And someone who laughed with me through the dirt eating and the forgetting and the remembering and the way he kissed me when we got across that bridge. Where is he? Is he here? I need to find him. Because it's almost implying that she was able to get back after they crossed the bridge, but she doesn't know where he's at. So I am interested to see where that's going to go in the letter.
In the letter?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to go get tissues. We're going to go on break.
We are. We're going to go on break.
On that note, us frantically remembering things, we are going to go take a break.
I have a question for you. Actually, think about it. Like, maybe we can go and break. A part of, like I said, a part of the 30 minutes is you rereading everything you wrote. We don't have to spend all of that on stream. Maybe a part of it we can start on break and then come back.
I could do, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and set a 30-minute timer. How will we do
35 minutes.
35-minute timer, so we have time to
actually go on break. 35-minute timer, and then we just come 35 minutes, or how long do you want our break to be? I know we're discussing this on.
Yeah, whatever. Let's do a 10-minute break, so we'll do a 40-minute timer.
Yes, 40-minute timer, and then we just come back when we're ready.
We'll flop. So what we're gonna do, y'all, we're gonna flip over to the Be Back Soon screen, but we will both kind of exist here rereading stuff and then pop back when we're ready to actually do the letter writing. So,
yes, but basically the 40 minutes that we're having here is the last part. You'll either see our face just suddenly pop up and be like, hey, it's time, we're writing, it's time for us to write, or but this is the amount of time we have left in this world. Not in this world, in the world, whichever world we decide, the character's world.
I'm going to, just so I can keep the screen on the correct screen, I have to copy paste everything and put it in a different document so I can keep the screen as it needs to be for our break. Oh my god, I have written so much for this. Holy shit.
We have. I can't wait to put this on ellipsis and see all of the word count. And just be like,
I'm about to get
I'm going to put it on my website, by the way. If you guys want to read this, I'm going to polish it a little bit better, but it's all going to be on the website if you guys want to see it.
Oh my god, do you see how much you're fucking written? Jesus.
I'm so proud of us, actually. This is a good, again, if you need to get into like a good writing habit, this is a good tool for you. Not to like pump it up as the creator. I feel like you guys should learn. You should read this. You should play this game if you want to have more writing tools at your fingertips. It's in early access in classicalglaiza.itch.io, which I will eventually move over to Classical Adventures 4.1, my Notion website.
I want you to know I just popped this entire thing into ellipsis, and it is 8,700 words.
Nice. Very nice.
All right, I'm going to whip up, do this, take down my jar, and we're going to this, and I'm going to go ahead and start the clock. And we'll go ahead and
as well.
Take our break. We'll see you guys back here in probably closer to 15:20. but
Yeah.
we will be getting started. But I'll go ahead and get us on stream when we're going to start writing. So hang out, take a break, stretch your legs, pet your cat, yell at a cloud. And we'll see you soon. All right. Okay, we're back, but we're reading.
We're reading and talking out loud about the stuff. Maybe. I don't know. You'll hear us. It's fine.
It's stream of consciousness at this point.
Yeah, we're rereading the stuff that we wrote.
Right.
Part of the 30 minutes.
I remember that I set up what I thought was going to be the world with this weird book she had, and then I just went in a completely different direction.
I think that's awesome of us, really. Like you don't like, I don't even know that I was just gonna create like the creature that would destroy the world based on that problem. I don't even know how I was gonna end this, but now I have an idea because of the cards that we pulled.
Let's see.
I am really good at getting angry with myself, like with the characters I create, apparently. That's funny.
Apologies if you hear WrestleMania happening behind me, because my cats decide this is the time for WrestleMania.
Your cats never did anything wrong in their life.
They have done so much wrong just today. The Thimble's blood work came back, and she is going to get spayed next week. And I get to have silly, stupid high cat. I'm very excited about that. What were you doing on the first day you were taken from your world, in all caps? Working. Right.
Oh man.
I'm gonna have to really stop myself from editing this as I'm reading through it.
I mean, you only have 30 minutes. So if you do, that's part of it.
Oh yeah, there's the limbs. How many legs did they have?
Oh, it's the first time I met Alvin. Look at that.
I really love this line I wrote. It was just me, my non-slip kitchen shoes, and 2 Monster Energy drinks against what could possibly be my doom.
Oh, and I made blue spaghetti.
What are you, baby? Are you not? I'm working. I'm hilarious in these.
I know.
I love it all rushes back. My name, my bakery, my croissants. And I remembered in my head, I was thinking of the spinach puffs from that person who grew.
Oh. I have to get rid of this fork. Ooh, this looks like a fancy fork. Oh, this is my favorite part of Missing Month. Just going back and reading what you wrote, and because of how disconnected they are, it's just like it's so fun to see. Ah, yeah, the season of the falling stars. That was a good one. That was a good one.
I'm at my rocks.
Oh, they fought. They're not gonna make up. That's why I gave him a different gay guy.
I apologize for neighbor's dogs cricking if you can hear that in chat.
Yeah. Look.
Now I'm getting to the last parts that we wrote.
Mm. I forgot about how she figured out you had to eat dirt. And it says you have to eat eat the land, and it's like literally eat the land. Fuck off. But it is unpleasant. You fucking think, Jeremy? Oh my god, I'm funny in this. Oh my god.
But part. please. Done. Wait, Benji. Okay, you got one of every time.
5 minutes. Shiv, we can't see your journal anymore.
Oh, because I'm writing an ellipsis. Back to me.
No choice. Whatever. Add this to.
As the great poet The Clash said, did you stay or did you go?
I left.
I left too.
Yeah. Do you want to read your letter?
It's not a letter. It's a continuation of the story. There is a note in it, but I am going to go ahead and read the whole thing.
Okay.
It's insane, right? To do this, to send a random message to a random person who can't possibly exist. Here I am, phone in hand. His hair is red. He's only a little older than me. It's not unheard of. Well, here goes nothing. And the note reads, I'm looking for someone. You remind me of him. I really want to remember the time we spent together. We traveled in a strange place and got closer than anyone I've ever known. If this is you, that would be so wild. It feels like it was only yesterday, but also a lifetime ago. If you're that Jeremy, please let me know. I really want to find him again. Red. Days go by. That was insane. That was stupid. He looked just like him. I had to know. Red hair, near Boston, ex-Navy on his profile. That red receipt is like a fucking knife. My ex tried to stop by. I had completely forgotten his name. I remembered it as soon as he walked in. We argued. I shut the shop down early. I actually took time off. On one of my nights off, I went out. I actually enjoyed this crazy city I called home. I saw the sights, enjoyed this place that I broke my back to get to. Sweet escapes can wait. I want to actually see the Statue of Liberty. I did. It was stunning. I ate food that was good. It was good for me. I had a wonderful time just by myself. I laughed at strangers. I cried at a Broadway show. I yelled at a cab driver. Why would I have ever wanted to leave? When I got back to my building, with the condo above my little bakery, I stopped dead in my tracks at the end of the block. A tall figure with an absolute shock of red hair is waiting for me in front of the
Red.
He paces back like he is scared. I can see him wringing his hands. He's definitely not much older than me. The way his face is just as boyish as I remember. He bursts into tears first. I sprint towards him. I drop every stupid souvenir that I grabbed. When he grabs me, everything falls away. I'm home. I never have to go back to that wretched place ever again. I am home. I am me, and I'll never forget who I am again. I have the one thing worth keeping from that place. We're a puddle of tears, unable to say anything for a long time. Several people walk past and stare. For all they know, this is a homecoming.
Nice. My letter is less happy. It's a little sad, actually. Content warning, a little bit of like the forgetting part. But I'm going to read it. Dear people of... I'm sorry. I don't even know how to address you. The land of the season of falling stars, the land of the destructive burrow. I don't even know how to word this. We, the Jaspers, have decided that we will leave this world in order to block the burrow from destroying your world. We have decided to go back to our world for selfish reasons. We want to forget the sacrifice that one of us will have to make. The burrow has to be destroyed, and the person who has brought it back is gone. There's only us now. And soon it will be just one of us. So we've decided not to stay here. Just remember that at the end of the day, one Jasper chose to sacrifice himself for you, and you would do well to remember him like you did with the great man who saved you, the guy with the statue. The other Jasper, the selfish Jasper, who chose to live in a world where he doesn't remember that there was once another Jasper who had to die. You don't have to remember him. He chose not to remember you. But remember the one that died. Promise us that you would. I'm not going to tell you which one of us it was. Maybe because I'm the selfish one that's left. And I want you to think that it could have been me that sacrificed for the greater good and not the one that didn't. It doesn't matter. We both agreed it would be for the best. Do not bring the burrow back. Do not make the same mistake as Alvin did. Here there are scratches and Alvin's name is scratched out. Remember Alvin. Remember them as a hero. They were the first one to fight the burrow, to sacrifice themselves. Please remember them because I cannot. I do think you'd like to know that the great hero you believed in, the one who taught you what you needed to do, he lives and has gone to a world where he doesn't remember. I don't think he chose that. He is kind, I think. I don't think that there would be any travels between worlds now. at least not for us. Especially not for the Jasper that is no longer here. I think this time it's a one-way travel. I think that's why Piolo never came back, as far as I can tell. Remember Jasper. Remember the hero that was, and not the selfish one who chose to survive and forget. Remember Alvin. They deserve it. As the only surviving Jasper, I wrap the letter and leave the fork behind. The burrow is shrinking and my mind is quiet. I am alone, like I was. I'm going to forget, like I always do. I'm scared, but I'm selfish. As the burrow shrinks and starts to wrap around me, a small part of me starts to change my mind. Maybe I want to remember. It's too late now anyway. I hope they remember enough for all of us. I think that will be okay. Those are the last words I remember as I feel the burrow closing in on me. And the end.
Wow.
I made it sad.
Great. I love it. Wow.
But I honestly didn't know how that would be until this session. I didn't think it would end this way. I didn't think that it would be like this. I'm actually proud of how that ended, because it's very clear which Jasper chose to like forget and which Jasper chose to like save the world, you know? And I really liked it.
Incredible. I love it. That's I really wanted to start by like having like I was gonna write like a whole letter, and it just when I started writing it was like no it's her.
You did sort of write a letter as well, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's this whole situation where you described what was happening, and then
I realized my letter was like a love letter to her remembering how much she loved where she lived.
Yeah.
By going and experiencing it. Because like as somebody who lives in like a major metropolis, like you don't go experience it because you're like, oh, I experience it every day. And it's like, no, you experience the grocery store and where you go buy your things and like the restaurants in your immediate area. But like, you know, how many times have I actually been to the World of Coke or the Atlanta Zoo or the Georgia Aquarium? And it's like, those are things that I do when other people are here that I would show them. But like, when do I do that on my own? And so I was like, when I established she was from New York, I'm like, if she's working all the time, she probably never gets to experience New York.
All these things.
So I was just like, like her love letter to the city and the place that she lives is just to go experience it the way, like, if somebody spent hundreds of dollars to go experience it, that's what they would do. They're not going to go, you know, exist in a kitchen with no windows. They're going to go to the Statue of Liberty, go see a Broadway show, get in a fight with a cab driver. I'm not speaking from experience here. Look, my wife called it a New Yorker bar mitzvah because I was literally 13 years old the first time I slapped the hood of a cab and yelled, "I'm walking here." Okay, like that was.
I'm walking here.
I literally did it just out of instinct. Like when I joked about her wanting to punch him in the mouth when he said "Go Red Sox," like there is just like sleeper agent instincts in me about my New Yorkness. And like, yes, I live in the South. I've lived in the South a long time, but there's just these bits of New York that just come out, and especially when I'm in the city.
It's like New York possesses you.
It's just like,
it's like, I got my fingers right in there, and like you're New Yorker again.
And so like I don't give a shit. I see it in the show. I don't give a shit about baseball. I do not give a shit about baseball. The only thing I like about baseball is Shohei Ohtani because I think he's funny. But when something comes up that gives me a chance to shit on the Red Sox, no matter what is happening in the world, I will take that chance. Or like, New Jersey. I got in a fight in college with a girl who's from New Jersey. And it was the greatest thing I've ever said in my life. She says, "Oh, I'm from New Jersey and you're from New York, so you probably think I'm trash." I went, "Honey, no, I don't think you're trash. Trash gets picked up on a weekly basis." And then I got socked in the mouth, and then we got in a fight, and I won. Let the record show I won that fight. So like,
it's so funny.
So yeah, I was just kind of like, yeah, she's like someone who lived in this city and never really let herself experience it. Her love letter to coming home is going out and doing the New York things. If I had more time, because I really took my time reading, because I was like, I really wanted to reacquaint myself with like what she had gone through, and I was like, there was no way she was going to stay. She had to eat dirt. Yeah. She was always going to forget who she was. Like, the more you forgot, the more you turned into like a monster. So like, I was like, how do I write this letter to going home? And that was when it was just like, yeah, like it's the same way like when I go to New York City as somebody who doesn't live there, but to me that's home, is like, that's what I do. Like, I'm gonna go do the things that would just feel like New York, like get in a fight with a cab driver.
I think one of the things that I'm curious about is that it's so rare for someone to choose to stay in the magical world. Like I've had a couple of people play this game, and it's very rare that they chose to stay. I think it happened only one time, and then most of the time they're like, okay, we leave, and you know.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. I was like, I feel like if the first card wasn't a spade, it would have been different.
It might have been, like, especially like if you met like if the first card, because like I did like pepper in prompts where like the world is actually quite nice if you like, you know,
right.
Depends on the vibes that you're doing, but like that's also like the reason where I'm like, I made sure that return home scenario is important, so that you get torn between wanting to stay and wanting to leave. There was one game that I played this with, and I was very tempted to stay. But at that point, I hadn't created a character creation. So I was living as Glaiza being isekai'd into a world. And I was like, well, no matter how great that world is, I'm not going to leave my actual world because I like who I am, where I am, with whom I am. So I think that was, for me, was the moment I was like, oh, I'm going to need a character creation. I'm gonna need people to create characters, because they're never gonna leave this world, or if they want to leave, I'm just gonna cause a lot of depression for a lot of people because they can't leave, and I you know, like the character bleed is gonna be bad.
Yeah. So
that's actually why it was like, yeah, there's gotta be a character creation. We can't just jump in as ourselves, because it's gonna like either it's not gonna be hard to leave this world, or it might cause some serious bleed, and I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, I don't know if somebody's that great of a writer and they create this world that they really love, and now you have to like, well, you have to say goodbye to it. You can't stay or whatever.
I actually was thinking some stuff. Yeah, I was actually thinking of challenging myself of, despite what I pull, making a world worth staying. Like being my like guide, and see if at the end of it I do want to stay, or if even despite trying to, for lack of a better term, stack the deck to make it.
The first world I built, I actually wanted to stay, but I didn't want to because of myself, like, because I didn't have any, like, I didn't have a character. If I had a character in front of me living as that person, I would probably choose to stay in that world, because he built a really nice world, and the reason he had to leave was because he had to save the guy, and the only way to do that is to, again, leave, because they were gonna use him, whatever. It was a whole thing, but I had to like force the leaving because to make it make sense to me as a person. But I think now with the character creation, you can like sort of like take that shield away, like have a different shield where you're like
that disconnect of I personally wouldn't leave my life as it is right now. I adore my wife. I have 5 cats in my house. There are 8 of them outside. Actually, that's why I was so late coming back from break to read and stuff, was because I got distracted by kittens. They're up and about and being problems already. They are 4 weeks old, so it's great. But yeah, so I was like, if this was Siobhan trying to build this world with the end being I could be gone forever, I'm like, I wouldn't want to leave. I mean,
Exactly.
there's a lot that's wrong with what's going on in the major part of the world, but my life is actually pretty fun and I have a good time every day. But if I may start with a character who's really unhappy with very little tie back here and then make a really cool world and maybe give it one drawback, right? Or like one or two major drawbacks. I'm like, would you still choose to stay here? And I think that's going to be a challenge the next time I play this all the way through.
Yeah. I want to make a situation where their world is great. Their home world is great. And this other world is also great, and to make that a struggle, a real
Make it
struggle.
a struggle, yeah.
Like, make it a real struggle to choose, so that at the end of it, you really don't know whether you're going to stay or leave. Because at some point, like, as I'm playing this, at some point, I already know whether I'm going to stay or leave. At some point. I'm like, yeah. At some point, you're going to be like, I already know. Unless I'm, like, creating a tragic character that gets to, you know...
Yeah, because I think what really did this version, at least for me playing in, was it is at the expense of who you are as a person. And as somebody who's very terrified of like that kind of disconnect of identity and stuff, I'm like, I don't think I'd stay there. And even though this character isn't
also
me,
the world itself is scary. Like the world you created was terrifying. I would like leave immediately. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm like... I'm reading back through this and we're doing the goodbye letter and I'm just sitting there going, I feel like I need to send this to my therapist. Maybe we need to talk about this. Which is actually, here's a little life advice. If you are a writer and just shoot from the hip and write something and you go back through it and go, oh my God, maybe send that to your therapist. Because me and my therapist have unpacked a lot just through the things I write and the characters I create and stuff like that. And look, I'm gonna tell on myself here. My therapist caught me in an info dump, and she's good. This is why I pay her money. She caught me in an info dump when I was talking about my like comfort character, the Blorbo that had taken over my brain, that I was writing in every universe and like text RP and playing her in a D&D game, and then I played her in another game, and like all this. It's just like this character was such a comfort, and I gave my poor therapist her entire life story. And I get to the end and take a breath, and this woman leans forward in the Zoom call and goes, so let's talk about your mom.
I remember you bringing that up
on our first
session.
If there's something that you were writing and it's very easy for you to write, and then when you go back and read it with fresh eyes and go, wow, what's wrong with me? You should send that to your therapist. just look, my favorite mangaka that ever existed in all of the time I've been reading manga is Junji Ito. I love him so much. Everything he writes just speaks to weird parts of my soul. But sir, I think you need to talk to somebody.
Honestly, okay, so I love the meme of Junji Ito and who's the other guy?
Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah. How he's just like, I hate the world. The world is whatever. But Junji Ito is like, la la la, so happy with the world, and he writes really creepy, scary stuff. And that's just who he is, and I love that actually.
It is funny because like every time you see him as himself, he's just like you would see the roles essentially. So yeah, it cracks me up. But yeah, I just like there's certain imagery that I'm like, I feel like if I presented that to a professional, I would get a different dosage of my medication.
I mean, I got ADHD diagnosed after I info dumped about One Piece to my therapist. My psychiatrist was like, I was telling her all about One Piece, and she was like, so have you thought about an ADHD diagnosis? And I'm like, ma'am, I'm here for my depression and my PTSD, not a new diagnosis. But honestly, it saved my life. So as an aside, One Piece truly did save my life. Luffy, One Piece, all that. Big shout out. Thank you for that.
Thank you,
but
Oda.
Genuinely, it was really funny when my therapist was like, let's talk about your ADHD diagnosis. I'm like, I don't have one.
Yeah, no, see, the ADHD diagnosis, I have had that for a long time. What was funny was this particular therapist when I was like, yeah, no, I've always been good at people. I'm really I'm really good at talking to people. I feel like I can see the dialogue tree and pick the one that's going to make the relationship meter go up. And she goes, have you considered an autism assessment? And I was like, I hate you. I pay you so much money for you to undress me like this. That's illegal.
Okay. My son was recently diagnosed with autism, and I picked up a book to learn more about it. And yeah, I understand that autism is genetic, but when I was reading the book to learn more about it, I was just like, all right.
You almost got a spit take on camera. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that you start looking into for someone else, and then you go, oh, look, this shoe fits. Maybe I should lace it up.
Maybe I should. And then I closed the book. I closed the book on that, and I was like, well, my son definitely came by that diagnosis. Honestly, that's definitely a thing that is correct.
Oh my God! It's just I talked about this in the fuck around table on Sunday, but like this beautiful moment of being able to write or exist as a character that's not you but like you in some way, because like we as people are always multifaceted. Like, I am just as much sunshine and rainbows as I am asshole who's going to get in a fight with a cab driver. And just taking one of those facets and just kind of dialing it up to 11 to make a character and having a safe place to explore that. And I think that's kind of the thing that I'm having the best time with journaling kind of prompts like this is it's a chance to kind of process something you didn't even realize you were processing until you you're set on a timer and you just have to say the first thing that comes to your mind. And I think the timer aspect is my favorite part of this game because there's no time. There's no time to sit and think, what am I going to write? You just have to start writing. And I admittedly, much like many people with ADHD, work very well under pressure. My finest work comes in the sense
correct. This game is for people who like Pomodoro timers, who have ADHD, who wants to write and work under pressure, and also likes isekai stories. This is like a very specific group of people, and it all is for you, genuinely.
It's great.
But hey, what do you think of it? We've ended. We have finally finished Missing Month.
I really think, I mean, like I said, I have like 2 or 3 that I'm already kind of in the midst of, but I'm going to just be running through this with so many different iterations. Look, congratulations, Glaiza, you're my first. You've popped my solo cherry. And I, as somebody who always runs into the problem of, I want to play all the time. I love playing pretend, okay? Like, I will admit with my whole chest that I never stopped playing pretend. And that's why I do so much TTRPG and act and, like, take on these characters and stuff. But as somebody who's in their 30s with friends who have professional jobs and kids and all that, it's really hard to get 5 of us in the same room at the same time to do things like play pretend. I can't just run over to my neighbor's house, knock on the door, and ask if someone can come out and play. So this is just such a beautiful way for me to still push those buttons when I am alone. And just whenever, like I said, like this feels like the perfect in-flight like distraction. You can set a timer. Like I was just about to say, like, I'm gonna get like a little kitchen timer or something and put it in like my carry-on bag, a notebook, and a printout of this game, and that would just be how I would pass the time on an airplane. Like it's like
that would be
perfect travel. Like
I would love to actually have somebody just play this on like a whole day of travel. Like they have a whole day where they have to go do places, do things, and then they're just playing Missing Month. I think that would be amazing. I want to know the world that you build. I want to know the things that you'll do, because I honestly am I want to say I'm the only game creator that can confidently say you can play this game with, not including the breaks and stuff in the return home scenario, in 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Right.
It depends on you how you want to play it, but in 2 hours and 30 minutes, you will have a story. And it'll be done, and you will have it, and it is yours.
Oh my God. I'm like, I can have, obviously, if I'm not somewhere where my phone has to be on airplane mode, like, I can just have a timer wherever. You can do timer on airplane mode, whatever. But, like, I am just having this intrusive thought of, like, I'm going to have a little timer or, like, maybe a stopwatch or something and just put it in my bag with my notebook and do, like print out all of this game, put it in like laminated sheets or whatever, and like if I'm at the DMV all day and I have my like
have your cards,
okay. I don't know if anyone else is like me, but I have what I refer to as my go bag, which is my I know I'm going to be out of the house all day bag, which has like chargers, power blocks, but also like a notebook, a book, a manga, my reading glasses because I'm old, like
I have a go bag too.
First aid kit.
I have a go bag, and I am never bored wherever I go.
Yeah, so like because I try to give myself things to do other than look at my phone if I know I'm going to be out all day, and this is just such a great way to pass. Like I was sitting around the other day and I was like, I have to go get my license renewed this year. Like my license is done this year, and I could do it online theoretically, but I want to update like all of my information because literally nothing on my license is correct except my eye color. So I was like, I should probably go in and like actually update anything. And then I was like, I'm going to be at the DMV literally all day. And then I was just like, oh my God, I could play Missing Month like multiple times.
I could be at the DMV all day.
I just like, it suddenly turns, if I have 2 hours and 30 minutes to myself, it's not going to be a scroll, it's going to be a story. And I don't know. Mm-hmm. It made me very happy to suddenly think of that. So yeah. Thank you for being my first guest on Parallel Play. Thank you for giving me a story. I was actually just talking to Lena about it on break. I was like, I might expand this out into like a novella. Because I really liked the world I made. I really liked, the characters I created and stuff. And I was just like, it's just like sudden fucking inspiration. And I'm really proud of what I wrote here. I think that
it's a really good, you wrote really well, and the world is interesting, and you made it romantic as well.
Yeah. I can't help it. Okay. I'm a slut for ships. Okay. But I can sit here and talk about it all day. But I will respect everyone else's time. And
I'm excited for your next guest.
I'm
whomever
really
they may
excited.
be. Because then I could join and play along.
That's what I was going to say. If this is something you've watched all to conclusion, I highly recommend next time playing along with us. It's parallel play. So
if you're also watching this on VOD, you can play as well. Yeah. Follow the same prompts.
Follow the same prompts. And like, look, I rarely tell people to just like DM me like on Blue Sky. Like, please don't just jump into my DMs. But like, if you've played one of the games that I've played on Parallel Play and you want to talk about the story you wrote, like, absolutely just send me a fucking DM.
You always have to be like parallel play DM,
right?
Because if
like
it's
literally just like start
parallel
like
play, like no thank you. But if it's parallel play, it's like okay, I'm gonna read this. You know, so I feel like that would be the.
But I really like honestly, my favorite thing in the world is stories, and I realized as to bring back my autism stuff, my special interest is stories, and it's just any sort of story. And just having a sit down and just pump a story out in a couple of hours. That's a lot of fun. And so
also, I should tell y'all, I sent Shiv my newest solo journaling game called Meet Your Gel Cub, Meet Your Gelatinous Cube. Mm-hmm. So I hope Shiv likes it. But really I did just send it.
I'm going to try to give other people a chance to come on and play with me.
I'm not going to be. I want you to play it by yourself because it's play test. It's not ready for parallel.
Right. When it is ready, you know where to find me. So yeah. So, and I already told Glaiza. I'm like, I literally just ordered. Because they were like 90% off. There were these Mary Janes that are lime green, and the sole of them, they're big platforms. The sole of them look like gelatinous cube, so it's like lime green with like swords and skulls and detritus on them. And then there's a matching like cube purse, and I have a skirt that looks like gelatinous cube. And I'm like, I will do the entire stream in this outfit, okay? I'm really excited. But we are going to be doing another one of these. Keep an eye out on our socials for a set date, simply because Missing Month ended up taking longer than I had anticipated. So I've had to set things back
almost
a
month,
bit.
I think.
Honestly,
almost a month, I think. Which is honestly the purpose of the game. Like my grandma said, like sometimes you're like, oh, suddenly it's like too long. It's a month actually. Yeah, that's why it's called Missing Month. This is the month that was missed.
Yeah. I honestly think it's beautiful that it ended up taking almost exactly a month for us to complete this game. So I am super honored that you let me start this series with you and this game in particular. I had the absolute best time. And like I'm saying, like I'm not going to like see you multiple times in the next week, but thank you so much for joining me. I'm Siobhan, also known as Shiv. I am here on Find Out Productions. You can also find me at Dr. Bubbles PhD, literally everywhere. Like as soon as something comes up and it's like, you can make a screen name for this, I'm like, squat. So yes, that's me. Find me anywhere and let's play. So, and thank you for joining us, Glaiza.
Hey, my name is Glaiza, he, they, she pronouns, in order of what makes me go E in my brain. I do a lot of things on the internet, especially in the TTRPG space. I run games, make games, and I play in games. All of this you can find by going either to connect.classicalglaiza.com or my spanking new new website that I just built called Classical Adventures 4.1. Basically, the goal is to make adventures for me, because I like going on adventures. If you find a Classical Glaiza on the internet, anywhere on the internet, guess what? You have found me. If you find a different Glaiza, I recommend proceeding with caution. That's not a safe space. That's not a safe Glaiza, honestly. Just be careful. If it's not Glaiza,
it's not Glaiza.
It's not Glaiza.
Oh my God. Well, thank you guys. And we will see you in the next one. And have a good night. Bye.